Urgent, Birds fan, look at what just happened. Nobody saw this coming, huh? But first, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because we bring you daily videos with the latest Birds news. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Eagles, 49ers trade proposal reunites $51 million pass rusher. With Robert Saleh, the San Francisco 49ers will likely add a pass rusher, maybe more, with their 11 picks in the upcoming NFL draft. But what if they tossed a pick or two to the Philadelphia Eagles in exchange for a pass rusher who had the best year of his career playing under Robert Saleh? Currently, Nick Bosa is the sole returning starter on San Francisco's defensive line. What about adding Bryce Huff on the other side? Huff, who turns 27 on April 17th, is entering year 2 of the 3-year $51 million deal he signed with Philly, but his first year didn't exactly go smoothly, and rumors the Eagles could trade him began to spread. Now, with his former coach in Saleh leading San Francisco's defense, could the Bay Area represent a fresh start for Huff? Let's discuss. Heavy Sports 49ers trade proposal sends Bryce Huff to San Francisco first off, and most obvious, a trade would. Reunite Huff and Saleh, which intrigues because Huff had a breakout season with the New York Jets under Saleh in 2023, recording a career-high 10 sacks. Saleh has previously expressed high regard for Huff, comparing his pass-rushing prowess to that of baseball legend Mariano Rivera. Bryce, elite pass rusher. He closes games, Saleh said about Huff back in March of 2024 via NBC Sports Philadelphia. People want to say that all he does is rush the passer, but all Mariano Rivera did was close 9th innings, so he's a pretty darn good pass rusher, and he's going to be good for Philadelphia. Considering Saleh's fondness for him coupled with Huff's potential, perhaps an incentives-laden contract would do the trick. Here's a trade proposal we like. San Francisco 49ers would receive D.E. Bryce Huff. Philadelphia Eagles would receive 2025 4th round draft pick, along with a conditional 2026 4th round pick that would escalate to a 3rd rounder if Huff records 10 sacks in 2025. Huff had down year in 2024 as looking to rebound. Huff entered the NFL as an undrafted free agent with the Jets in 2020. Over 4 seasons with the Jets, he played in 54 games, amassing 17, 5 sacks, 65 tackles, and 43 quarterback hits. In 2023, under Saleh's guidance, Huff achieved career highs in sacks, tackles for loss 10, and QB hits 21. Things didn't go all that smoothly during his first year with Philadelphia, however. A wrist injury sidelined Huff for part of the 2024 season, and he finished with 2 5 sacks and 1 forced fumble over 12 games. Huff was part of the Eagles' Super Bowl 59 championship team, although he was inactive for the game due to his injury. Despite a dip in production, Huff's familiarity with Saleh's system and his proven pass-rushing capabilities make him an attractive option for the Niners. Some players simply vibe better with some coaches. Perhaps Saleh is Huff's Tom Landry. As it stands, the Niners' depth at edge rusher raises concerns. While Yetur Gross-Matos has shown potential, he has been inconsistent, and players like Drake Jackson have struggled with injuries and consistency. Historically, the 49ers' most successful campaigns have been anchored by formidable defensive fronts, which was a huge component of their 2019 Super Bowl run. To replicate such success, it's imperative for the team to invest in top-tier pass-rushing talent. Maybe Huff isn't that guy, but it might be worth a try for a Niners team looking for all the sparks it can get. Pausing this news, just to say that, if you want YouTube to keep recommending the latest Eagles Nation news to you, it's very important that you leave a like on this video. Thanks! Now let's get back to the news. Eagles must sign former All-Pro defender to start April on right foot after winning Super Bowl 59. Earlier this year, the Philadelphia Eagles saw many players leave their championship team in free agency and, via trade, the impact has been felt predominantly on the defensive side of the ball. While the first wave of free agency has come and gone, here is one player that the Philadelphia Eagles can sign to help propel them to the Super Bowl again next season. Eagles should sign Von Miller to bolster pass rush rotation, former Buffalo. Bill Star Von Miller's best days are almost certainly behind him. Going into his 15th season, Miller, age 36, is no longer the every-down pass rusher he was earlier in his career with the Denver Broncos. What he is at this stage of his career is a veteran who has 6 postseason campaigns and 2 championship rings under his belt. Miller won Super Bowl 50 and was the game's MVP with the Denver Broncos, and won Super Bowl 56 with the Los Angeles Rams. At this point in his career, Miller's best contribution to the 2025 Eagles would be to provide leadership for a pass-rushing unit that is projected to be a strength of the roster, but is also still relatively young. With the recent retirement of longtime Philadelphia Eagles great Brandon Graham, who turned 37 last week, and the loss of 7-year veteran Josh Sweat to the Arizona Cardinals, there are 2 spots open in the edge rusher room. While general manager Howie Roseman has done a great job of replacing both players with former New York Giant and Georgia Bulldog Azeez Ojulari and former Kansas City Chief Joshua Uche, these 2 new players are 25 and 27, respectively. Miller's spot on the roster wouldn't be guaranteed, but he could help fill the Brandon Graham role and bring valuable expertise to an Eagles team destined to repeat as Super Bowl champions this year. Eagles rival tops list of likely destinations for one of the NFL's top defenders. The competitive balance in the NFC East will shift, and the Commanders will be a thorn in the Eagles' side if this information turns out to be accurate. As cocky as this may come across, we don't feel we're alone in this theory. Never at any point of the most recent NFL season did we feel the Washington Commanders were a legitimate obstacle to the Philadelphia Eagles' title hopes. Sure, there was that nightmare finish in Landover at Northwest Stadium, Philly's lone loss. After the bye week and a 22 start to the season, we dismissed that one fairly quickly. Surely had Jalen Hurts played for the entire contest, that one would have ended differently. Besides, had Devonta Smith caught that final pass from Kenny Pickett, we wouldn't be discussing this anyway, right? And then there was the angle involving Vic Fangio's defense. After seeing them blow that fourth quarter lead by surrendering 22 points, we were confident that wasn't going to happen again. The Eagles versus Commanders rivalry is must-see TV once again. As strange as this might sound, the Eagles' loss to the Commanders in Week 16 fueled our confidence that Philly wouldn't lose to Washington in the NFC Championship game. The element of surprise was gone. Losing to their rivals still stung, and the celebration seen by Philly's rival wasn't forgotten. Much has happened since then. Frankie Louvu jumped over the offensive formation during an obvious tush-push attempt too many times. Many of us learned of a rule that we didn't know existed. Philly demolished Washington in the NFCCG. Commanders fans became the latest to learn the dangers of tarnishing the Rocky statue. The Birds went on to hoist the Vince Lombardi Trophy, their second. Who would have thought? The Eagles versus Commanders feud is the premier rivalry in the NFC East now, and some recent information, if proven to be true, can truly shift some things. In football's money division, TJ Watt's acquisition by an Eagles rival could set off some fireworks. We believed Washington was a few years away from a serious championship chase of their own, but we may have to readjust that theory. The Commanders' arrival has come more quickly than expected. Now it appears, with the TJ Watt rumors swirling, that they, like the Eagles, are among the favorites to land the 7-time Pro Bowler, as his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers may be ending. Justin the are the co-favorites to trade for All-Pro pass rusher TJ Watt, per Bovada official. Watt is in the final year of the deal. A former Defensive Player of the Year, 6x All-Pro and 7x Pro Bowler, would be the player to put Washington over the top. ML Football T, Jay is already a 6-time All-Pro, 4 first-team mentions, and 2 second-team nominations. Keep in mind the fact that Washington also traded for Laramie Tunsil and added several game-changing free agents: wide receiver Michael Gallup, guard Nate Herbig, defensive end Dietrich Wise Jr., D.E. Jacob Martin, defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw, D.T. Eddie Goldman, cornerback Jonathan Jones, and safety Will Harris. We'll see what happens with what appears to be a physically declining Debo Samuel. He's been a nightmare matchup for the Eagles in the past, but here's the kicker. Washington's young quarterback, Jaden Daniels, is certainly the real deal. He has an opportunity to get even better. While we still grade Philly as the class of the NFC East, the Commanders are going to be a pain in the arse for a while. If they add Watt, our issues with them only increase. We'll see what happens as we move through this offseason. And now, Birds fan, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I don't know if you know. But your opinion matters a lot for Birds. I'll be back any moment with more Eagles Nation news. Fly, Eagles, fly.